Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, has reached an agreement with the United States in which he will plead guilty and subsequently be released from prison. Greetings, everyone. Today's video centers around Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, who has reached an agreement with the US Justice Department. As part of this deal, Assange has agreed to plead guilty to a felony charge, leading to his release from prison. The charge in question is related to the Espionage Act and involves the unauthorized acquisition and dissemination of classified information. Following his plea and sentencing in the Mariana Islands, Assange is expected to return to his home country of Australia. This agreement brings an end to a lengthy legal battle and international intrigue surrounding Assange's role as a publisher. Without any further delay, let us begin our discussion. In an arrangement reached with the US Justice Department, Julian Assange, the mastermind behind WikiLeaks, has agreed to admit guilt to a felony charge. This resolution, detailed in recently submitted court papers, will result in his release from incarceration and mark the conclusion of an extensive legal ordeal spanning various continents and the disclosure of confidential materials. The Justice Department has confirmed that Assange will make an appearance in the federal court located in the Mariana Islands, a US Commonwealth situated in the Western Pacific. During this court session, he will enter a guilty plea for the charge of conspiring to unlawfully acquire and distribute classified national defense information, as stated in a letter submitted to the court. The international community has been captivated by this criminal case, which will come to a close pending judicial approval of this plea. This marks the conclusion of the US government's pursuit of Assange, whose website dedicated to sharing secrets garnered widespread public interest. While some supporters of press freedom consider Assange to be a journalist who exposed wrongdoing within the US military, investigators contend that his actions breached laws put in place to safeguard classified information and posed a threat to national security. Following his plea and subsequent sentencing, which is set to take place on Wednesday morning in Saipan, the largest island within the Mariana Islands, it is anticipated that Assange will make his way back to Australia. The decision to hold the hearing in Saipan stems from Assange's reluctance to travel to the mainland United States, as well as the court's close proximity to Australia. Requests for comment directed towards Barry Pollock, the US attorney representing Assange, have gone unanswered thus far. By reaching an agreement, Assange will accept responsibility for his actions and avoid additional incarceration. In order to evade arrest on rape charges by Swedish authorities, he had previously sought sanctuary in the Ecuadorian embassy in London before ultimately being apprehended in the United Kingdom. It has been determined by prosecutors that the period of 5 years that Assange spent in a maximum security prison in the UK as he fought against being extradited to the United States will serve as his sentence. In a recent development, Assange was granted the opportunity to challenge the extradition order, as his legal team argued that the assurances provided by the US government regarding his protection of free speech were insufficient. Assange has gained global acclaim for his exposure of military wrongdoing in Iraq and Afghanistan, as demonstrated by WikiLeaks' release of a video depicting a 2007 American helicopter assault in Baghdad that resulted in the deaths of 11 individuals, including 2 journalists from Reuters. Nevertheless, his standing has been tarnished by allegations of sexual assault, which he vehemently refutes. The indictment from the Justice Department in 2019 charged Assange with assisting Chelsea Manning, a US Army intelligence analyst, in the theft of diplomatic cables and military files that were subsequently published by WikiLeaks in 2010. According to prosecutors, these publications had a detrimental impact on national security as they provided assistance to US adversaries and caused harm to both the United States and its allies. The case has faced criticism from press advocates and supporters of Assange, while federal prosecutors maintain that it focuses on actions that extend beyond journalism, such as the solicitation and dissemination of classified government records. It is worth noting that this case has been pursued despite the previous decision by the Obama administration to refrain from prosecuting Assange. After careful deliberation by President Joe Biden regarding Australia's appeal to halt the prosecution of Assange in the United States, a plea agreement has been reached. After being found guilty of breaching the Espionage Act by disclosing classified information to WikiLeaks, Chelsea Manning received a 35-year prison sentence. However, in 2017, President Barack Obama granted her clemency, resulting in her release from incarceration after approximately 7 years. In 2016, WikiLeaks, under the leadership of Assange, garnered increased attention by releasing democratic emails that were purportedly obtained by Russian intelligence agents. While Assange himself was not indicted in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, the inquiry shed light on the hacking operation's involvement in favoring Republican candidate Donald Trump. In 2010, when classified documents were published by Julian Assange, the Justice Department deliberated on whether to press charges. However, they were unsure about the viability of the case in court and had concerns about prosecuting activities that resembled those of conventional journalists. The approach changed during the Trump administration as former Attorney General Jeff Sessions made the apprehension of Assange a top priority in 2017. Over the course of more than 10 years of legal battles, including a 7-year confinement within the Ecuadorian embassy in London, supporters and family of Assange argue that his physical and mental well-being has significantly declined. After facing the possibility of extradition to Sweden for a rape inquiry, Julian Assange sought sanctuary in the Ecuadorian embassy in London in 2012 and was later granted political asylum. However, his asylum was revoked by Ecuador in 2019, leading to his arrest by British authorities for violating bail conditions. Despite the sex crimes investigation being dropped by Sweden due to the passage of time, Assange currently resides in the highly secure Belmarsh prison in London as he fights against extradition to the United States. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.